This is why. This book. This is Dad's single most valuable possession. Everything he knows about every evil thing is in here. And he's passed it on to us. I think he wants us to pick up where he left off. You know, saving people, hunting things. The family business.
Welcome back, everyone. We're back again with another, I was going to say anime to D&D, but this isn't really anime. I suppose now we can change the series name to maybe like pop culture or TV shows into D&D. But today we're doing Men of Letters into D&D. Basically the kind of organization from the Supernatural TV series. So we'll just get into it. Men of Letters are perceptors, observers, and beholders, chroniclers of mysteries not easily explainable or known to the mortal races. They have knowledge of mysteries of the supernatural and many arcane arts, like alchemy. The order is identified with the crest of the Aquarian star, which is this star here. A six-pointed sign that represents great magic and power and is rumored to be linked to the gates of Atlantis. The order is led by elders who hold their most protected secrets. Members of the order are ordained through the paternal line of their family, which is usually the most recurring thing. Like in Supernatural, Sam Medine's grandfather is a member. Unfortunately, if you guys, I assume if you're watching this, you probably already know, but I believe it was season 9, 10? It's 9 or 10, when they brought him back, or brought him forward in time, and where he eventually unfortunately died. But yeah, so that's where Sam and Dean found out that they would have been members of the Men of Letters, but they became hunters in that way too, becoming Men of Letters. But that's a different story entirely. Despite the name of the order, the members are not gender specific, as many of their initiates are female as well. So it's just a conglomerate name kind of thing. But everyone's welcome. Any race, any sexual orientation, anything and everyone, as long as you're good enough, I guess. Men of Letters are powerful. Go away thing. I have this little pop-up here. I can't get rid of it. I don't know. I might just block it out then. Men of Letters are powerful mortals who know about the supernatural more than any other organization. Their knowledge is so in depth that it's even rumored to rival the gods. They have knowledge of ancient and powerful magics, including exorcism and time travel spells. They seem to be ranked by levels of supernatural knowledge that they have attained. The higher the level, the more powerful and experienced they are. I didn't assign any levels, but you could kind of go by like this level with how they've become higher. Go away, bloody thing. But yeah, so you see here we have Men of Letters level 1, their proficiency bonus, their features, spells known, spell slots, and then spell level. Thought this was straight. I thought this would have been over to the right more so. But types of Men of Letters, there are only two types of Men of Letters members of the organization become. The first type is chroniclers. This brand title reference to their nature as basically a glorified book club. They're traditionally Men of Letters is a title for well-read individuals and members who are ordained through the paternal line of the family. So generally, if your family grew up through the order, you kind of would be more likely to become a chronicler. And then the second type is hunters. This branch is more for active and hands-on members. So your chroniclers would be more of your kind of wizardy kind of member, and or sorcerer or whatever, and then your hunter is more of your fighter, ranger kind of separate how it separates out. And they're more active, hands-on in the Men of Letters. The hunters, it being usually predominantly human, who hunts down this supernatural and saves people from monsters, demons, ghosts, and other creatures. One of the most recurring reasons people go into becoming the hunter lifestyle is a tragedy in their lives that involve the supernatural. So like their parents were killed, the village was slaughtered, this, that, and the other. Your classic D&D background kind of thing. And a hunter usually joins the Men of Letters, as they're not usually members through the paternal line. So a hunter can join, but generally a hunter joins in. They're not usually from the group. So it's that kind of weird workaround thing. But class features, you get 1d10 hit points per Men of Letters letter or letters level. Your first level is 10 plus your con modifier, same as every other class, and then 1d10 or 6 plus your constitution modifier for every level after first. You're proficient with light and medium armor and shields, excluding tower shields. You're proficiency with simple and martial weapons, so your swords, bows and arrows, that kind of stuff. Alchemist supplies, saving throws, intelligence, wisdom. You have a fair few amount of skills to choose from, so you have Arcana, Disguise, History, Insight, Investigation, Nature, and Perception. I was thinking about possibly adding more, but you could still have a fair few to choose from. Equipment, you start with a martial weapon or 2 simple weapons, a light crossbow with 20 bolts, or a hand crossbow with 20 bolts. The way I was thinking about this is that if you basically want to be like supernatural and you want to use guns and whatnot, you could just reflavor the light crossbow or the hand crossbow into guns. Obviously give them the same stats and everything, but like just for your own kind of inside your head thing, like, oh yeah, these are guns. But then you get studded leather armor or scale mail armor and a scholar's pack. Kind of keep them with the idea of that they're scholarly people that learn a lot through knowledge. And then we have a bit of Sam there doing this magic demonic power thing. Then for level 1 you get spell casting, so you've learned to untangle and reshape the fabric of reality through your magic and training and upbringing in the organization of the Men of Letters. Then you see spells, your general rules for spell casting. The thing I made different for this class is that Men of Letters have no set spell list. They're able to choose from any spell thing other than Cleric, Druid, and Paladin spells list, because that kind of power comes from a different place. Cleric and Paladin is a divine power, so basically they're going to be getting it from their god or deity or whoever, and then Druid is kind of more of imbalance with nature, so it's not something you can naturally learn, it's something you're given. The same could be said for Warlock, but Warlock spells are quite similar to all the other classes, so I kind of kept them as is, so I included them so you can choose for them. Spell slots, Men of Letters, a table shows how many spell slots you have, so at level 1 you have 1 spell slot. It's similar to the way Warlock works, is where you have 4 spell slots, and then you can go up to 5th level and you have 15 spells. To cast one of these spells you must expend the spell slots, usual kind of stuff, and then the same for any levels after that. And then your spell casting ability is your intelligence, so that's going to be important. So your usual kind of spells say DC 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your intelligence modifier, and same for your attack modifier. You can also ritual cast, so you're not going to waste a spell slot then, theoretically. So you can take 10 minutes or 11 minutes to cast a spell depending on its casting time, and then do that. One of the abilities that we've given for level 2 is Lore Chant. So basically you've studied so many texts and tomes and everything about any possible creature that you've found out these kind of words of power that can adversely affect a creature. So through your years of studying on the text and lore available to Men of Letters, you learn the words of power that can cause difficulty to targets in completing their actions. When you reach 2nd level, as a bonus action on your turn, you can choose one creature other than yourself within 60 feet of you who can hear you. That creature gains disadvantage on their next attack. It's possibly a little bit overpowered, but I was thinking maybe adding a DC bonus, but they are actually very underpowered when it comes to magics, and they're not as tanky as a fighter or a paladin or anything. So I figured this kind of ability, it kind of fits in line with their whole development, so coming together would actually be quite good, and how they're all about knowledge and everything. So this is something that's only they can learn, so that they have this ability, and then it's like disadvantage. It's kind of similar to the spell Frostbite, where you can cause them to have disadvantage on the next attack, but they have to make a DC save, but at the same time they take damage if they fail it, so it's kind of similar. The Men of Letters branch, there are 2 branches a member of the Men of Letters may follow. One must adhere to one of these branches to be granted access to the knowledge of the Men of Letters. So basically where you differ off to become a chronicler or a hunter. And then level 4, you have your ability score improvements, so usual kind of stuff. 5th level, you get an extra attack. And then at 9th level, you have your secrets and skills chronicler. So you choose 2 more skills to gain proficiencies in. So that's kind of going to be handy. You can pick any other skills within the available skills that you haven't gained proficiencies in. So that's kind of handy. You get more skills and you've learned how to use everything, what to do, how to do it, all the correct procedures with this, that, and the other. So you can add that as well. Use magic device. At 13th level, you've learned enough about the workings of magic that you can improvise the use of items even when they are not intended for you. You ignore all class, race, and level requirements on the use of magic items. So, like, it's kind of, it fits well enough with the theme of the class, just because they're they're all about magic and secrets and everything, so they can kind of figure out how everything works and just kind of use it. Magic imbuement. Starting at 14th level, you add your intelligence modifier to the damage you deal from melee attacks. So basically, you can kind of like maybe say a little chant before you make a strike and imbue your weapon with just a little bit of arcane magic, something different and strange, but at the same time, kind of it fits with them. Then at 17th level, they get disappear. At 17th level, you can use the hide action as a bonus action on your turn. Also, you can't be tracked by non-magical means unless you choose to leave a trail. So you learn, so you're like basically like this high-end hunter or man of letters who knows how to track, how to hunt, how to do everything. And at 17th level, you can learn how to just make yourself untrackable. So the kind of perfect, almost predator of a sort. Because you're technically like your hunter and blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Then your first branch is the chronicler, and letters. We have Jack from the TV show, so kind of using his magic power. Even though I know he's not really a hunter of sorts, he's more of the Nephilim thing. But chroniclers are perceptors, observers, mysteries not easily explainable or known to men. They have knowledge of mysteries of the supernatural and many arcane arts like alchemy. This is where one thing I went kind of different, where the men of letters chroniclers are quite magic savvy, and then the hunters are not. They're more combat based. So this is kind of one thing where it's going to get cool. At 3rd level, you have plundered magical knowledge from a wide spectrum of disciplines. Choose one cantrip and one spell from any class, including this one. A spell you choose must be of a level you can cast as shown on the metal letters table. The chosen spells count as metal letter spells for you, and you are included in the number of spells known column on the metal letters table. You learn one cantrip and one spell from any classes at 10th level, then again at 17th. So basically you're getting some extra magical bonuses. You're getting extra spells and also cantrips, so you can also take like the ability like getting Eldritch Blast or what do you call it? Eldritch Blast or Firebolt, stuff like that. Small little attack cantrips which would be very handy for that class. Obviously you could dip into Sorcerer and get like 3 or 4 cantrips. But I think this would be a lot better for them, just being able to get a couple of combat spells, and then obviously they can use the spells if need be. Then they learn them at extra levels, so they're kind of getting an extra bonus over the hunter. Necrotic Revival at 6th level. When you reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points, you gain temporary hit points equal to your intelligence modifier plus your men of letters level. So that's going to be another handy thing. So you can drop people. So once you start getting your spells, you're going to be able to hit them a bit more, and you're going to be blasting, and you're also going to be getting a bit of a boost. So that's pretty cool. Warding glyphs, and I was also saying like Necrotic Revival because you're kind of pulling from every kind of tomes and knowledge bases, like you're learning from all over the world, all different magic types, so you're kind of pulling this into your own natural abilities. You're not as good as a wizard, you're not as good as a fighter, but you pull different ideas from each of one, and you're starting to get more powers. Warding glyphs. At 11th level, you have learned Ancient Protection Glyph and have placed them upon yourself. You and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you have resistance to damage from spells. So basically, you can imagine like you have a rune or something placed upon you, and it's going to glow for basically forever. I assume well, it doesn't say if you're down. Obviously, you can change this up if you want, but yeah. So basically, if you're all pulled together and someone gets hit by a fireball, you're going to have to take a little bit less damage. Demonic Sight. This is from they're learning all these different abilities, going through like 9 hells, and learning how to tap into this kind of extra power that wouldn't be generally available to the normal user. So at 15th level, you can see normally in darkness, both magically and non-magical, to a distance of 120 feet, which is pretty strong. But considering you're at 15th level, it's not the most crazy thing. It's not like giving them at level 1 where they're going to be able to see for miles in complete darkness. But level 15, you probably should be ready to be, or should have items that allow you to do this. And then you also can see through the true form of any shape changer or creature concealed by illusion or transmutation magic while the creature is within 30 feet of you and within line of sight. So pretty much you can see through magic, pretty much. So you can see through darkness and non-magical darkness. Or magical and non-magical, and then you can see through kind of transmutation and illusion magic. So obviously if it's a true polymorph kind of thing, I think that's permanent, unless you choose to be permanent so that you wouldn't be able to see the real person. But say if you're level 15 and you come across a dragon or something, transform into a human, kind of like in Critical Role Campaign 1 with what's his name, the green dragon, Raishan, with one of the guards from the castle. But so that kind of scenario, you could see through it and see, holy fuck, that's a dragon, it's not a person. But hunter from the meta letters, a hunter is a being, usually a human, who hunts down the supernatural and saves people from monsters, demons, ghosts, and other creatures. One of the most recurring reasons they go into the hunter lifestyle is a tragedy in the lives that involve the supernatural. A hunter usually joins the meta letters as they're not usually members through the parental line, which is kind of just another repeat from the initial block, but it's kind of another in-depth look at why a hunter is a hunter. At level 3, the hunter gets a fighting style, so this is where they kind of differentiate. While the magic caster gets, or the chronicler gets magic kind of stats, the hunter gets fighting styles. So you can choose if you want to be an archer, fight defensively, go dueling. So basically you gain a +1 or +2 on damage rolls with their weapons, so which would be a hatchet, possibly short sword, long sword, stuff like that. Great weapon fighting. I can't imagine them actually choosing this. Again, you could always go completely choose to remove this from your own setting if you want to, or protection, so you can impose disadvantage on attack rolls. And then 2 weapon fighting. And at 10th level, you can choose a second option from this fighting style feature. So they're also not being kind of screwed over by the, what do you call it, the bloody chroniclers. The chronicler gets 2 choices, but at the same time, the chronicler only gains a couple of things, while these are more permanent to their everyday kind of abilities. The chronicler's ones gives them extra cantrips and stuff and extra spells, but that doesn't increase their amount of spell slots they can use per day, so it kind of balances out, so them only getting 2 and the chronicler getting 3, in my opinion anyway. So obviously you can change it if you want. Hunter's Instincts at 6th level, you can use your action to expend 1 meta letter spell slots to focus your awareness on the region around you. For 1 minute per level of the spell slot you expend, you can sense whether the following types of creatures are present within 1,000 feet of you: aberrations, celestials, dragons, fae, fiends, and undead. This feature doesn't reveal the character's or the creature's location or number. So it's kind of interesting. So like if you know, oh, I'm going into this wooded forest and it's really heavily shrouded, you can spend 1 minute and search around you for 1,000 feet. So obviously you're not going to be making it too far within a minute, but you can move. If you're a normal person, you'll have 30 feet of movement, or normal human. I think dwarves is 20, but just for an average, we'll say 30 feet in a round. But if you spend 30 seconds running, you're going to get, what's that, 30 times 60, which would be 1,800 feet. So you have a larger radius of where you can search for. So it'll be interesting to see if you can find that creature within the area, or go expend a larger spell slot. And then at level 11, the hunter gains holding glyphs. You can cast Hold Monster at will, targeting a celestial, fiend, or elemental without expending a spell slot or material components. You must finish a long rest before you can use this invocation on the same creature again. So this would be very handy. So like if you come across a creature and like, fuck, I don't have anything prepared for him, but it's like, I'll just hold him there, let my teammates take care of him, and then we can see what we'll do then. And at 15th level, for a hunter, when you use your action to cast a spell, you can make 1 weapon attack as bonus action. So you could say, I'm going to hit you with a chain lightning. Oh, I think chain lightning is 6th level, but whatever. And then you can slice them up with a weapon attack thereafter. So it kind of balanced out the the chronicler is more magic savvy. They're going to be the guy who's going to be standing back, observing everything, trying to control the battlefield, and then the hunter is going to be up there with the fighters and everything, or possibly staying back with the rogues, trying to flank them off and take out everyone. I think they're balanced out pretty well. I had to give them a bit more. I gave them a boost in health because they're going to be on the 1d10, just because they don't have as many cantrips or spells as likes of a paladin or a hexblade or warlock, whatever. So they need that little bit more of a boost, and they can also use more weapons and stuff. So and it will balance really well into dipping into different classes to gain different abilities. But I think this has worked pretty well. It might need more abilities. Like we have a few blank ones, like at level 7, level 10. I didn't bother putting any at 10 because I know that both classes will get some at level 10, and we didn't put anything at 18 because we have the ability score at 16 and again at 19. So possibly there could be something to go there, but I think the class is balanced enough. So they're going to be a very much of a skill monkey because you're going to have 2 from your ability, probably 1 from your background. So you're looking at least 3 skills there. At level 9, you're going to get another 2. So you're already at 5. So you're going to be the possible, maybe the voice of the party, or the guy who's going to be coming up with plans, the strategist, that kind of stuff, controlling the battlefield rather than the battle master who's going to be doing the physical controlling. But you could get everyone out there, say what to do, how to do it, and use your abilities to the best of your ability, and it'd be a good. If you want to be a man of letters, you could start off up to level 3, and possibly then drop or change into a wizard background, so that then you have your intelligence high enough to be a wizard and everything, so you could dip from there because you're already a basic wizardish, which is a magic and fighter kind of thing, or magic and melee crossover kind of thing. So it'll be interesting to do. But yeah, sure, that's pretty much it. Yeah, leave comments below, see what you guys say on it, and if we need to add anything to it, remove anything, any suggestions for a possible next anime or TV show crossover. I was thinking about a few different animes, but they're quite difficult, and some of them are very straight up. Like I was thinking about doing like the Magic Knights from Black Clover, but they're so broad. So I was thinking maybe do Asta, but then Asta is pretty much just a fighter with like an anti-magic or anti-spell sword. So it's kind of trying to come up with the right balance. But yeah, sure, we'll end it there. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.